everybody, it's Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in. Whoops, hang on. I'm doing really well. The microphone's like 5 feet to left. Anyway, now we're doing better. Come on in, sellers. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know that you can hear me. Just comment below. I'm in New York City, if you don't know that. Pretty warm today. We were good. I'm going to say high 40s, low 50s. Hi, Marcia. Good to see you. So come on in and let me know that you can hear me, how your weather is. And while you are settling in, I will introduce myself. And then I'm going to get to it. I actually had a really interesting conversation with eBay. And I want to give you an update because it is an update. And that way also that you have absolutely accurate information. For those of you who follow me, you know that I do not say things unless I have double and triple checked them and check my sources very, very carefully. This was actually with 2 eBay sources. So I know I'm spot on. And I also have the backstory so I can explain it to you. So, hey, hi, Sharon. Hi, Joe. Good to see you guys. So I'm Kathy Terrell. I'm a top rated seller on eBay. I've been selling on eBay for over 12 years. I'm trained by eBay as an education specialist. I have extensive retail background doing retail and merchandising here in New York City for, gosh, well over 25 years. I also had the super fun of selling live and on QVC Shopping Channel. And if you don't know, QVC Shopping Channel's live. I mean, yes, there's recorded clips, and I believe there's like a 5-second delay similar to news, just in case something happens. But it is live TV, and I certainly have a lot of fun stories about different things that happen while you're presenting live on television. But I learned so much. It's extensive retail selling experience with extensive training. And what's great with QVC, it's very similar to online selling in that you're selling something that the person cannot physically touch or smell before they're buying it. You're presenting it completely with an image. So I did that for 6 years. Then I did need to leave QVC because my mom was sick and I needed to be more home-based. I'm in New York City and QVC is in Westchester, Pennsylvania. So that was a bit of a round trip commute. I enjoyed it. I loved it, but I needed to make a change and come home and take care of my mom. And that's what got me going on eBay, was that eBay is so flexible. And a lot of people do sell on eBay because of that, because of different lifestyle choices. Stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, elder care, kids, or just wanting flex hours, selling eBay part-time. I mean, a lot of things. And then many, many sellers like myself that are full-time. I am an eBay sales and social media consultant. I've had the great privilege to present on stage with eBay staff. I am on various eBay beta teams, which means I'm testing things. And then I also work with all of you. I love to work with my seller friends, and I'm a coach for sellers and a social media coach. So come on in. And this is what I wanted to talk to you about was, I don't know if you've ever had this happen. It's happened in my home where I go, actually with our knife block, this will happen. So I go to the knife block to get the 8-inch chef out because I'm going to be chopping up some onions or celery, and the knife isn't there. It's like it's not there. And with our knife block, there's slots for the big knives, and then there's slots for the smaller knives. And I always put the 8-inch chef back in a certain place. I always put the bread knife back in a certain place. The paring, we have a couple of paring knives, etc. And so what happens is if my husband has decided to cook and he's cooking something or chopping something, is that oftentimes, you know, he'll pull out 2 or 3 knives and he puts them back in a different way than I put them back. So then I'm going, you know, where you're used to, it's almost like a memorized motion. You're used to just reaching for that slot and that knife is there and it's not there. So I'll be like, Bobby, when you put the 8-inch chef back and you put it here, you know, that kind of thing. And then we sort it out. So he's doing it to be helpful. He's like, oh, I'm using my knives and then I'm going to put them back because I'm going to please my wife by tidying up the kitchen. And it's a little bit of what happened with eBay. And let me explain. So there is a part of eBay, or there's an aspect of Seller Hub called Send Offer to Buyer. What eBay calls it is Seller Initiated Offer, or SIO. In case you see that lingo, You know, sometimes eBay staff will use lingo and you're like, oh, I have no idea what they're talking about. SIO, seller initiated offer. Okay. It started, in case you've been selling on eBay for a while, or perhaps you've heard a video from 6 or 8 months ago of send offers to watchers. Okay, so the person had to be watching, then you could send them watcher. Now it's send offer to buyer, because it's also people that have your item in their shopping cart and they left it in the cart for a while. They're now part of the send offers to buyer program. So it's not just watchers, it's people that are watching, and it's also people that have their item in a shopping cart. So it's great. It doesn't cost you anything to use it. You do not need to have an eBay store to use it. You just have to have people watching. And then it's a function in your seller hub. There's a tab. It'll say send offer eligible, I believe is the terminology. You click it. It pulls up all your listings that you can send offers on. Then you can click and you can send them offers. You can customize the language if you want in the offer. Otherwise, eBay pre-fills it. You can just put in the offer that you want to make. Boom, out it goes. So you may have noticed that in the past year, eBay is striving very hard with its various tools to be transparent with sellers, to give us information to help us as sellers make better decisions for our listings so that we sell faster. It's called your conversion rate. One part of that, if you haven't noticed, is when you are listing, if you use what's called the sell your item flow, SYI, I believe is what it's called, which is just the regular flow in eBay. It's called your sell your item. When you go to fill in the item specifics, there's numbers, 1,000, 5,000, 3,000, a million. They're letting you know how often that item specific is searched on eBay. And it's to let you know how important that item specific is to encourage you to do it. I love that. I think that's fabulous. And that's information eBay's giving us. So that was the idea with the seller initiated offer. And this is what happened was when you send the offer out, there's now a counter capability where the buyer can counter. Okay. The other thing is the buyer can decline. They can just click decline. Okay. And they have been, I mean, this has been there. They can decline the offer. eBay knows if they have accepted the offer, yay, you get a sale, or if they've declined it. But in the past, they've never notified you, the seller, that the offer's been declined. You only know if it's accepted. So eBay thought it would be great if sellers know if the offer's declined. I actually like knowing that because it lets me know that the person interacted with the offer and made a decision. They didn't just ignore the offer, right? So eBay decided to send us, if the buyer declined it, that we would get a notification. The way the eBay notification system is set up is you get an email. And at least for the way they tested it over this past weekend, and I'm going to date this January 27th, the way they did it was every single time you got declined, you got an email. Now, for somebody that only has 40 or 50 listings up, or maybe 100 listings up, and maybe only send out 1 or 2 offers, getting 1 or 2 emails is not a big deal. For a seller with 1,000 listings up, or a couple thousand listings up, or a couple hundred listings up, but they have a lot of watchers, which means they're sending out a lot of offers, that's a lot of emails. And that's exactly what happened. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. Is some people just got bombarded with emails saying, you know, decline, decline, decline. And the other thing, do I have my phone around? No, my phone is charging. If you have the eBay app on your phone, which I do, and if you've opted into push notifications on your phone, and push notification means like the screen on your phone lights up and says when you've got a sale, when you've got a notification, you know, it's a push notification like for your text or anything. If you had opted into push notifications on your phone, a lot of sellers were saying, oh my, their phones were blowing up. I mean, it was just boom, 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 boom. So eBay apologized. The desire was transparency. The desire was communication. And for whatever reason, the way the notifications are set up is you get one on every single one. And when I talked to the team, I said, I get it. Thankfully for me, I sent out a bunch of offers and they were accepted this weekend. So I didn't have that problem. I said, I think it is good information. I would encourage the team to perhaps we could get like a weekly email or, whatever. I said, but I think it's good information for sellers to have because they should be aware of the buyer is seeing the offer. It's not just going into some kind of spam folder and responding to the offer. Because if I'm sending out a bunch of offers, let's say at 10%, and they're all getting turned down, maybe that'll encourage me to go a little higher, or at least test a little higher and see if I get better acceptance on that. But that's what happened. So if your phone blew up, if your emails are like stacked up, you're like, oh, eBay, that's what happened. eBay, the attempt was transparency, and helping sellers. And what happened was a lot of sellers just got like, oh my goodness, what happened? Now, this is what I wanted to say. Some sellers' reaction was, and they turned their notifications off from eBay, which I believe you can do in site preferences. You can set up your notifications. Now, as a seller, this is me talking to you, seller to seller. I encourage you not to do that. You do want to get your notifications, your emails from eBay. I want to know if I have a customer service issue. I want to know if I have a sold. I want my notifications from eBay. I want my emails. So I encourage you, if you're selling, don't turn your notifications off. If you do have the app on your phone or your tablet, totally up to you if you want to turn push notifications off, okay? It's totally up to you. I know for myself, some things I have push notifications on, some things I don't, okay? But this is just, again, me. I strongly encourage sellers not to turn their notifications off because you do want to know about sales and customer service, to get right back to them. And eBay, again, they were testing it. They were trying to help us. So eBay, thank you for wanting greater transparency. I think this is something to be encouraged. Also, thank you that when you saw sellers' phones were blowing up in their emails and that it was alarming to a lot of sellers, that you turned it off immediately. So thank you, eBay, for being so responsive. So seller initiated offer is, way to go. It's great. You can send offers to buyers. Do it. Keep doing it. And your phone should not be blowing up. If you're still getting bombarded with emails for some reason, do reach out to eBay customer service. If you're on Facebook and you're US or Canada, because I know some non-US listen to me. Yay. Thank you, non-US. So it might be a little different for you, but in the United States, we do have an eBay for Business page. And I believe Canada can also access it. And you can reach its customer service in the United States. And you can just reach out to them and say, I understand the notifications for seller initiated offer when it's declined, not when it's accepted, when it's declined, should be turned off, but I'm still getting a lot. So just let them know. Deborah's saying the phone literally blew up. Yes, I was getting that from a lot of people. Hi, Pam, how are you? Joseph said, I read the push notifications and emails and recognized the accounts. They were not actually buyers. They're actually my competition. Interesting, Joseph. You should definitely reach out to customer service and let them know that. They would love, love, love to know that, I'm sure. And just to let you know, too, when you do reach out to, for instance, the eBay for Business Facebook page, which is staffed by customer service in the United States. So, for instance, if I'm giving them a message for the seller-initiated offer team, they somehow tag that message and that is sent to the team. They do read that, but I wanted to let you know about that. Okay.